If you have a story about a law of attraction success, or about miracles, divine interventions, or happy glitches in the matrix, send it to me via email or on Instagram. The contact info is on the screen.
My SP only has eyes for me. My SP only gets turned on by me. My SP only cares about me. I am the only option. I am the total package. Everything about me is everything that my SP has ever wanted. SP is moving mountains to make me ecstatic every single day. Everything reminds him of me. He cannot get me off his mind. And my absolute favorite, no matter what he is doing or who he is with, he is obsessing over me.
This is exactly how I manifested my specific person back and got them begging. Like, they were literally begging to be back in a relationship. Let me explain. If you're trying to manifest an SP right now, this is the exact steps I've done to manifest at multiple SPs, and sometimes you do it so unconsciously. People are actually begging to be back to be in your life. And the first thing I did was I took all of my attention off the current circumstance. There was no breakup. They did not leave me. I ignored that physical reality. And this is the thing, when you get so good at manifesting, you can ignore the current circumstances and you can focus on the imaginal act. You can focus on living in the end state. The end goal was to manifest my SP back, and I did. Here are some things that I did to manifest my specific person back, and also people that worked one-on-one with me have also manifested their SP back as well. Number one, stop focusing on them and stop giving power to the situation. I do not care if you two are in literal no contact. We was not even in no contact, but they still came begging, running back, and here's why. Number one, I wasn't checking up on them. I wasn't checking in the physical reality, like to see how they're doing, see if they've got another girlfriend. I was not focused on that. And the reason why they left at the time, this was like over a few years ago, was because I had a low self-concept. I started to learn how you can increase your high self-concept. So I started to realize that actually I manifested the breakup. You also need to take responsibility of sometimes the bad stuff, because that breakup was created because you had a belief that they was eventually going to leave you, or things were too good to be true, or that you felt like they was pulling away after like they didn't text you in an hour, and then you created this whole story. And it goes back to your self-concept. Differently. I was like, you know what? I've been given this person too much of my power. I reclaimed my power back, right? So what I did was I started calling myself a queen, the prize, the only priority. And I started telling myself affirmations daily. My SP, I was like, no, they want me back. They're obsessed with me because, of course, like, who wouldn't be? And it's kind of that self-concept. You need to reclaim your power. So in that period of time, I realized what manifestation is. Manifestation is not just a technique. No, manifestation is a lifestyle. Manifesting is something you've been doing like, literally ever since you was a kid. It's this energy of where I was so detached. I did not look at how this was going to happen or when it was going to happen, because if you're thinking about either of those things, you're clearly not believing that you can actually manifest it. If it was going to happen in 3 days, would you on the second day be worrying that it's not going to happen? No, because you'd be in the state that you're like, oh, it's going to happen tomorrow. So you'd be in this relaxed, calm state because you're believing, you're expecting it's going to happen. When you take the focus, when you take your SP off the pedestal, that is when they come crawling back. And when you put you on the pedestal, lived in the end of my manifestation, I imagine them texting me, like writing me apology letters, like literally for them begging to be in my life. And that's exactly what happened. Remember, how you view yourself, people are also picking up on that. So if you want someone back into your life, you need to stop being so desperate for them and stop putting you on the pedestal. The more time you focus on your SP, the more they're not going to come back to you, because they can still feel your desperate energy. Once you feel abundant and hold fast, watch how quickly they will come your way. If you need help with manifesting your specific person one-to-one with me, I do one-on-one coaching now, and you can literally learn how to manifest anything you want. It gets to be this good.
I manifested my specific person by removing chasing energy and using attraction energy, and I'm going to teach you exactly how I did it so that you can do it too. Number one is I stopped thinking about him 24/7 and I started focusing on my goals, my passions, and my hobbies. When you do this, your SP will feel that you're no longer sending them this needy, desperate energy, and then suddenly they're going to start to think about you and wonder what you're up to. Number two is I started taking care of myself, getting ready in the morning, cleaning my room, doing my hair, putting on clothes that made me feel good. Doing this made me feel attractive, which changed my energy. And believe it or not, people can feel when you shift your energy, even from miles away. Number three is I stopped allowing doubts, fears, and negative thoughts to get in the way of my manifestation. Instead, I started to focus on the things that I was grateful for, even if it had nothing to do with my SP. This raised my vibration and made him become attracted to me.
This is exactly how I manifested my specific person back after 6 months of no contact. Step number one is that I had to realize that manifesting him back actually had nothing to do with him, and it literally had all to do with me and what I was believing, thinking, and feeling. I had to first admit that I was not being prioritized or chosen, and I had to go within and heal those things of why I was feeling that way. When you are trying to manifest someone to show up for you in a certain way, I can promise you that they will not show up that way until you start showing up that way yourself. You have to make yourself feel loved. You have to make yourself feel chosen and worthy. But when you're working really hard on your self-concept, self-confidence, and how you present yourself in the world, your person will have no choice but to reflect that right back. So if you do manifest them back and you haven't changed anything within, you're going to be in the same cycles until you break the patterns. And if you want to learn step by step everything that you need to know about manifesting your specific person back for good, check out my new ebook. It's in my profile and it's on sale, and it will tell you everything that you need to know about getting your person back. Step number two, you have to stop talking about this person in your relationship in any sort of way that you do not want to experience. Say your friends or your family bring it up and they ask you how things are going, you're going to say, so great. Obviously. So better than ever. Duh. I know that can sometimes be difficult when we have a past with this person, but when you go within and really start to realize that you were the one who did this, you're like, oh, well, I did this and I can undo it now, right? But only start speaking and thinking and feeling about the person who is in a happy, healthy relationship with your person. And lastly, I had to get rid of all the beliefs that were holding me up against this, whether that was because of distance or how long it had been since we talked or of the way that things ended. You have to get rid of all your beliefs around this person, this relationship, and how things can be around you, and create those beliefs into new ones that serve you in the direction that you want to go. That's how I manifested my specific person back after 6 months. And if you want to learn more, go check out my book.
They're thinking about you just as much as you're thinking about them. Proven by my client who manifested away her third party in the space of a few months. Saying this on loop for the next 3 days will bring anybody that you desire to their knees. Remember, the more you're going over the old story, the further away you are from a loving reconciliation. You have to start changing the narrative. When nothing bad ever happened, even if it did. And trust me when I say circumstances literally do not matter. You can literally assume that they don't remember anything bad that ever happened. Or even better, our relationship was always perfect. Even if it wasn't. Because you see that niggly little thing that your brain just did and said, well, this happened and he did this and this happened. You see? Did you just hear your brain tell you, no, it wasn't? That is what's keeping you away from the reconciliation of a lifetime. Remember, they don't have a choice in your reality. They always conform because everybody is you pushed out. Repeat after me. I am the only possible option. The more that I love myself, the more enchanting I become. I am absolutely mesmerizing, and whoever I desire desires me more. Remember, you don't have to believe these affirmations. You just have to keep repeating them and loop them until they become your new assumption.
All right, so let's talk about my 8-year SP manifestation. I have told this story multiple times, but today I'm going to go into like little more minute details. It is a Saturday. We have a hurricane coming to Florida. So I'm just chilling, taking it easy. So let me share some stuff with you. Okay, because I know a lot of people, they hear 8 years and they're like, oh my God, that's too long. But I didn't wait around for this person. I was like living my life, creating my life. It was majority of my 20s. And I was like traveling the world, and I was solo traveling, and I was like having all these adventures, going through identity crises, because when I met this person, we were both professional athletes. I had left my career as a professional athlete. He had left his earlier. And I had to do like major identity work on that. When we reunited 8 years later, which it was like wild, you guys. Like I just don't think you understand, because I didn't know conscious manifesting. I just had this like feeling like, will I ever see this guy again? Why do I feel such a strong pull to this guy? All these things. And I was like, am I ever going to re-encounter this? And I would have so many doubts. And again, I didn't know about conscious manifesting. So like I had to kind of force myself to move on from it and work on myself. And like I was building my life. So there was like 8 years to me, it was jam-packed. I was obsessed with other people. I dated other people. I was heartbroken over other people. There was so much that happened in that interim. But when we reconnected, it was crazy, because like even COVID came into play. I had basically had a trip planned that was canceled because of COVID. Apparently so had he. It was for the same travel company. So when we had reconnected, we were talking about travel, and we both had these trip credits that we had to use. And he's like, well, I'm going to Greece, you should come to Greece. And then I was like, should I? YOLO. I had just gone through a breakup. This was when I got into conscious manifesting, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna come to Greece. And like there's so many minor details, but like the things I will never forget were, one, I haven't seen this man in 8 years, and like the first time I see him is like arriving at the airport in Greece, in Athens, and it's just like, hey, how you been? And then we were like on this bus together going to the hotel, and I just remember like us looking at each other like, this is insane. This is actually insane. It was a mix of feeling like you could not convince a younger version of me that like this would be our story right now. And also like it feeling so natural, as if we had just seen each other a week ago. Like it was insane. Like it was like we picked up where we left off, but at the same time we immediately like went out exploring. And like one of the first things he said to me, he's like, you are like a completely different person. And as like the week progressed and we were able to like connect deeper, and we talked more about like the time that we didn't talk to each other, or even like the reasons why things fell apart at 23. And a lot of the confirmation I got were things that I felt intuitively, feeling like, is this man thinking, like, do I think of him so much because he thinks of me so much? Like all the thought transmission stuff, because he would, you know, let it slip. He'd be like, I still think about you all the time. And I would talk about you. I would talk about you a lot. And I'd try to like pry, like, well, what were you saying? And, you know, oh, that I was with this golf girl and that she's still doing astrology and like spiritual stuff. So we didn't follow each other on Instagram, so I knew he, by him saying that, he was still following. He was still keeping up to date with me, which is crazy because I was obviously doing the same thing. And then after that trip, we did stay in contact. We would, you know, talk a lot, and I think we established like a friendship thing. I was still healing from like a heartbreak before him, and I was still like doing a lot of work on myself and knowing that like I need to choose myself. I can't just jump into a situation. Like there's still a lot more healing that I need to do, and it wouldn't be fair to me or to you, but we stayed in contact like friends, and we would talk a lot. And I was just had this moment, like I feel like I never truly knew what it meant to feel like unconditional love for somebody who is not like a parent and things like that until this situation. And it's really because, not because of like who he is to me, but like what he has inspired out of me, what birthed out of me because of what I went through with him. And it like makes me super emotional because I will be like forever grateful to like what he represents in my life, what I accomplished. Like I became a published author because I was inspired to write about my relationship with him. And like those are the things that it's like.
Manifesting marriage and relationships is such a hot topic on TikTok right now, but I want to show you guys the right way to do it instead of doing it the wrong way. If you're somebody who constantly focuses on your specific person, you're doing it the wrong way. This process is not about them. It is fully about you. It is fully about what you're embodying. Meaning that everything that you're dedicating in this manifestation process needs to be fully about you. And I'm going to explain what this means. Check out my girl right here. She grabbed the manifestation workshop that you guys can all download at the very top of my page linked on my website. And she did this to manifest marriage. She wrote on one of my videos, you can click on her comment, that she's going to come back with her own testimony from using it. And now she has her engagement. So what are all these ladies doing? Why do we have hundreds of these stories pouring in? The reason is because of this. They're not focusing on SP. They're focusing on the new identity, the internal state of consciousness that they're flipping into in order to manifest their dream. So if I were to ask you, what is the version of you that's already married? She feels worthy. She feels loved. She feels obsessed with herself. She feels like she can get anything that she wants. She feels like she's valuable. That is the state that I'm having these women tap into. That is why they're receiving the marriage proposals, the long-term relationships. It's never been about the other person. It was always about you.
This is your reminder that thought transmission is real, and if you need proof, I'm about to give it to you. So I woke up from a message from a client of mine who has been manifesting a specific person, but this is kind of crazy because one of the things that I have a lot of my clients do, or if you're a part of my course, something that I like to do in order to help build belief in manifestation is creating a list of different things to manifest that are unrelated to the thing that you're trying to manifest, things that you have no resistance towards, because the more that you build the belief in the manifestation itself, the easier it'll become to like have faith in the manifestation, which thus will bring in your manifestation. She has been manifesting confirmation and signs that what she's doing is working. One of the things that she really likes doing is the thought transmission meditation. This week she tells me that she's been thinking a lot about this childhood friend of hers. Like every single day she's thinking about this childhood friend. Hers lives in Texas, and she's felt this like strong pull or urge, like, oh, I need to reach out to her. But every time that thought comes up, she is kind of pulled away from it, right? But then she thinks again, oh, I need to reach out to her, but again falls back into something else. So she finally gets around to messaging the friend, and let me show you this text message because this is crazy. So as you can see, she texts her, miss you, hope you are good, love you. And then her friend sends her, I've literally thought about you so hard every day. 2 nights ago, it was actually early in the morning. I woke up and I was just missing you. So I kept saying your name over and over again to see if I could manifest you to call me. LOL. So crazy. I definitely felt that because I've been thinking about you for days straight. So I find this particularly funny and a little bit crazy because it was so specific. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, I was thinking about you so much and wanting to reach out. It was literally like, I was trying to manifest you. And it's not like this particular friend would know about her manifestation journey. It kind of just tied into being about that confirmation. And when it comes to thought transmission, I always like to think, of course, we are the operant power of our reality. So like I said, if you're manifesting them, they're manifesting you. If you are thinking about them, it means they are thinking about you to some capacity. And every time I've used this on a person with no resistance, it's the same thing. I kept thinking about you, and I felt a strong urge to reach out to you, or I'd go and look at your Instagram page, but then something would pull me away. It took them a little while before they called me. The same thing's happening with your specific person. But it really is like a chicken or the egg situation, like who thought of who first, who's manifesting who. But then you have to give yourself the power and control of being the operant power of your reality. But sometimes I like to play around with this. If I'm thinking certain thoughts, it means they are too. I just use it to build my belief and to get them into action faster. So if you haven't already started using thought transmission or tried my meditation, definitely give it a try. It gets tons of great results. People feel so connected to their person and find it on its own or inside of my course. But I used to do this too. I used to use thought transmission, and every time I would have these inner conversations with my person, I would attach the belief that if I'm sitting here having these inner conversations, these loving conversations with this person, then it means that they're having conversations with me. And that's not too far-fetched to think. We have conversations in our head all the time with people, whether we are liking them or not. Like, we argue with people in our heads. Whether you know about manifestation or not, it still happens. So they could be having those conversations. They might not know that they're manifesting you, but the chances are is they are also doing the same thing when it comes to you.
See them happy. Actually though, if you're not in a relationship, it's really none of your business who they're texting, who they're seeing, what they're doing, which girls they're liking on Instagram. Just see them happy. I think so many people are scared to lose someone in their life. But why? For what reason? It's this or something better. So if you're actually seeing them happy, sending them love, not pestering them what they're doing, who they're with, they can feel that. They can feel that unbothered, detached energy, and it's magnetic.
From no contact with her specific person to literally having a baby on the way. Guys, this is the story of one of my clients. I'm gonna call her Jessica for this example, and all she did was use the self-concept makeover at the top of my page. She originally was feeling so heartbroken. She was in no contact with her person. She was constantly looking for movement, constantly trying all of these different affirmations, techniques, everything that she would see on TikTok, but seeing absolutely no results. And that would cause her to doubt that it's possible for her to be with her person. And what she did is she followed my guidance. What we do is we bring up, what are your disempowering beliefs? What are the stories that you're telling yourself? SP left me, SP's with a third party, SP doesn't want to be with me, the contact is not here, they're not prioritizing me, they don't text me back, feeling really anxious, feeling down about it. And then change the script. I'm in a happy, long-lasting, loving, committed relationship with my person. My person and I have open communication. I am the prize, I am deserving, I am loved, I am lovable, you see? And by her literally constantly reprogramming her subconscious mind with this new story, not only was her SP able to come back, running back to her, but now they have a baby together, a baby on the way. Guys, if it's a possibility for Jessica, it is a possibility for you. And I hope that this story inspires you, because you really can achieve anything that you want with the power of your imagination, with the power of reprogramming your subconscious mind and doing this self-concept work.
What do you think about today's success story? Give this video a like and write me a comment. I love hearing from you. Subscribe and press the black bell icon so you never miss an inspiring video. If you have a story about a law of attraction success, or about miracles, divine interventions, or happy glitches in the matrix, send it to me via email or on Instagram. The contact info is on the screen. Right now on the screen you also find a link to a playlist with all the success stories I posted so far. To retrain your subconscious mind to become a happy, optimistic, grateful person and a powerful manifester, watch these success stories every day. Make it a daily habit and notice the results in and around you. The Bible says, according to your faith be it unto you. So keep strengthening your confidence in your faith and in yourself. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.